Goldie and the Three Libearians by Mims Hopkins, illustrated by John Manders. Once upon a time, nestled deep in an enchanted forest, there lived a book-loving bear family. Papa Bear was a public librarian, Mama Bear was a school librarian, and their son, Baby Bear, was a librarian in training at the Grizzly Preschool. One morning, a little girl named Goldie was on her way to school. Goldie usually walked along the road, but this day, since she was running particularly late, she decided to take a shortcut through the forest. By and by, Goldie came upon an astonishing sight. There, in the middle of the forest, she saw a cottage that appeared to be made of books. Goldie loved books more than bears love honey, so she went up to the house for a closer look. She knocked on the door, and, to her surprise, it creaked open. Cautiously, Goldie peeked inside. Shelves and shelves of wondrous books lined the walls. She called out to see if anyone was home, but no one answered. Goldie knew that she shouldn't go in, but the temptation of all those books was more than she could bear. Once inside the cottage, Goldie went straight to the shelves and began browsing through the books. The first book she pulled off the shelf was too big. In fact, it was so heavy it fell on the floor. Goldie went to another shelf, but the book she took from this shelf was too little. Then she looked through some nonfiction books and found one that was just right. Goldie wandered over to another shelf and opened up a chapter book. She used the 5-finger rule to see if the book was too hard. She started with a closed fist. When she came to a word she couldn't read, she put 1 finger up. All 5 fingers went up while reading the first page of the book, so she knew that book was too hard for her. She tried another book, but it was too easy. Then she found a book of fairy tales that was just right. After she found several books that were just right for her, Goldie began searching for the perfect place to read them. Goldie looked around the room and spotted a big lazy bear recliner. She climbed up in the enormous chair and pushed back, but it went back too far. She surveyed the room again, and this time she spied a poofy couch with lots of pillows. Goldie sprang into the air and landed smack dab in the middle of the couch. Pillows flew everywhere. The couch was too squishy. Maybe there is a comfy place upstairs, she thought. When Goldie reached the top of the stairs, she saw a tent made out of a blanket. She crawled inside the cozy tent, opened the book of fairy tales, and began reading. Yes, this place was just right. Around noon, the 3 librarians came home for lunch. Papa Librarian immediately noticed one of his books on the floor. "Somebody's been looking at my big books and left one on the floor," he said. Then Mama Librarian said, "Somebody's been looking at my little books and put one back on the shelf with the pages showing instead of the spine." Then Baby Librarian said, "Somebody's been looking at my nonfiction books and one is gone." Papa Librarian looked at another shelf and said, "Somebody's been looking at my hard books and left one on top of the shelf." "Somebody's been looking at my easy books and put one back on the shelf upside down," said Mama Librarian. Then Baby Librarian said, "Somebody's been looking at my fairy tale books and one is gone." Papa Librarian saw that his favorite chair was not in the same position that he had left it. "Somebody's been sitting in my recliner and left it pushed back," he said. Then Mama Librarian said, "Somebody's been on my poofy couch and knocked all the pillows on the floor." The 3 librarians crept up the stairs. When they got to the top, Baby Librarian said, "Somebody's been in my cozy reading tent, and there she is." Goldie looked up from her book and saw the big, sharp teeth of the 3 librarians, smiling at her. Papa, Mama, and Baby Librarian joined Goldie in the tent. Papa Librarian read a story to everyone, and it was just right.